It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, ready for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. You know it's Tuesday night, 9 o'clock. Got a little bit started late, but I got the boys backstage. They itching to come on. We're going to have a fun night tonight, guys, because it's not only Rebels with a Cause, it's championship celebration night, baby. That's what I'm talking about. See these trophies back here? They just don't belong to West High School. We're all about promoting and honoring champions, and we had two last night in their respective sports getting their firsts, and we'll talk about each of them. This boy was extremely happy, not only as a proud alum but also as a 305 resident, and being a fan for 31 years of that hockey team. It all was worth it last night. But that being said, though, it is Rebels with a Cause, because remember, the cause don't stop when the clock hits zero, baby. And those teams definitely had a cause, and we'll talk about that. First and foremost, though, I always want to start off with every show, that the views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of our beloved West High School. This is simply the Rebels with a Cause crew's thoughts, whether it's myself, the Italian Stallion, two-pair Brian Tate, or the stat man himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee. These are our thoughts, and that is basically the bottom line, because the Rebels with a Cause crew said so. That being said, I want to give a shout out to my gal, or shout out to my boy, Mr. Alex Thatcher, a class of 2003 West Rebel, Knoxville Coffee Company. Always want to give him a shout. Definitely get you some of that brew there down in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue. It's good any time of the day. And also my gal, Miss Kim Castle over at King's Chamber, always gets me fresh before every show. Always want to give her a shout and throw her some love. She always makes sure that your boy's looking good and fresh for Rebels with a Cause, because she has a cause for herself, and hopefully you guys pay her a visit and shower her and Miss Rachel with a lot of love. Once they get up and running, they'll take care of you. Waxes, facials, hair trims, beard trims, pedicures, manicures, all that good stuff, even some massages. So definitely pay them a visit there off of Washington Pike. But that being said, I want to bring on my co-hosts and give them each their love. Wherever you're watching, whether it's live or recorded, there in Marble City or all the surrounding areas that filter into our beloved West High School, I want you to give a loud and shout, proud love, no matter what, to my boys. They are my family. They are my brothers. They are my co-hosts. First and foremost, we're going to start off with, he is the Mr. 2003 West, the voice of the Rebels, the Running Rebels and the Lady Rebels, for 18 plus years. And I know he's got some exciting news to talk about in that front, especially on the boys' side, because we got some news to break. But he is the hardest working guy I know. He has been my brother. He's my favorite Seminole I know. The one, the only, Mr. Two-Pair Tate, Brian Tate. Let's bring him on.
Yeah, yeah, man. What's going on? What's that?
Look at you rocking the Tennessee jersey. I like it. I like it a lot.
I had to take it back, man. I had to take it back.
Absolutely.
I had to take it back. Shout out, to my guy Tobias Harris. I had to throw on the orange and white for a championship. Like I didn't think I'd ever see like a championship for as in Tennessee, being a kid that, announced for the Vols. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been living out my dreams when it comes to when it really comes to seeing it now. You know what
Mm-hmm.
just it's really awesome to see, man, like, how far we've come. My bad. Let me get my headphones on real
Oh,
quick.
you're fine, bud. You're fine. In the meantime, while you're doing that, I'm going to bring on our other co-host. He's been missing in action the last couple of weeks, was dealing with some personal issues and some health things, but everything's good to go on our front. I'm glad to have him back, so that way I'm not pulling double duty with the stats. But I love his contribution. He is a true rebel with a cause. And ladies, he is single, he can cook, and he will take care of you on a date. He's single. He'll flash his phone number up there if you want all that. But without further ado, I want to bring in my brother. Uh, officially now part of the 40s club with myself and two-pair Tate. Let's bring him on, Mr. Shane O'Mac, our stats guy. Shane McGee, what is
What's
up?
up, fellas? What's up? How we
Man.
doing?
The
Man,
Mac Man.
I'm still recovering from last night.
Well,
I love it though. I'm
I
still
love.
recovering from last night.
Listen, I love that you guys got the Tennessee stuff on. I have a story of why I'm wearing the back-to-back, though. By the way, I want to. Here's
no,
why
that's
I'm.
cool.
No, but here's why I'm wearing the shirt.
Wore that too.
Well, there's a story. There's a story
Yeah.
behind that. Usually we wear our Rebels with a Cause shirts, and I've still got to
we
get
do.
Shane one, and some people want them. But realistically, why I wore this shirt is I was, the Panthers were really struggling. The Vols didn't look so hot Saturday night, and they did. And let me tell you something. Sunday was even a struggle until that 2-run blast happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the bats were dead in the water, and you just thought
Mm-hmm.
A&M was going to walk away with this thing. So I just thought to myself, I'm not fooling around. There's something about the Rebel championship, the aura, and so forth that needed to extend to 2 other teams, and damn it, it brought home championships. So I'm wearing this shirt again because this was the shirt I wore last night to basically will championships for our Vols baseball and my Florida Panthers in hockey. So anyway,
hey man, that's
every
great.
Every time I wore this jersey, like after Father's Day, Tennessee won, so I made sure I wore it last night.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Chatbox, I need to see you hopping tonight, man. I hope we have a big participation from everybody. This is the Vols winning a College World Series, and I'll tell you this: who would have thought that?
So
who would have thought it?
Literally, like right after we won last night, my mind went back to all the summers I spent on Tom Black track, right over there.
Yep.
It took you back. It took you back to the days when you'd go watch it at Lindsey Nelson. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
to the first letter I got from UT.
I remember going to see Chris Burke. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was in middle school to high school. You know what I'm saying? Chris Burke was like the guy like right after the Todd Helton years, you know what I'm saying? Like he was that next guy. And now you just see the dudes like Dylan Dryland was phenomenal.
He was.
The man had like 11 RBIs. He went 13 for 24. He batted like 500.
Yeah, I think it was 7 for 13 in this series, 13 of 24 overall. Like ridiculous. No wonder he was MVP.
Well, and wasn't his home run the one that sparked the Sunday victory? If I'm not mistaken,
and then
I mean,
you had Cal
it was
Stark.
dead in the water till he did that.
Yeah, and then you had Cal Stark, who got his first hit of the College World Series being a home run. Then
after going,
yeah, dude, he was dead in the water. But I will say this: the defensive play of Kavaris Tears, the defensive play of Hunter Inslee. Like Hunter Inslee's eye black is still in Omaha right now. It's still in Omaha. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. The pitching staff: Xander Zekris, Drew Beam, Combsy, Kirby Cannell, Nate Snead, Marcus Phillips, Benecke. Or Beneke.
Who is the lumberjack? Who's the lumberjack again that they bring in? Is that Condon? Who is that at the end?
No, you're talking about Kirby.
Yes.
Kirby
okay,
Cannell.
I have a question for you guys. The stuff he was throwing, you know what I really wanted to say, but that stuff that he was throwing in that 8th inning, why did we not leave him in the 9th inning, man? That was just too much. I was like, what is going on?
Who's that late middle relief?
Okay.
To get you out of that jam, he's pitched every game. The whole year.
He pitched every game.
But
he pitched every game.
You bring him in just to kind of get relief, then bring in the closer. Then Combs after the balk and the smile he had on his face, like, oh, my bad. I got it. But he's like, oh, I screwed up.
That was undeniable, man. Like, that was so great. Another guy that we got to mention, how great was Dean Curley as a freshman? The dude's in the shortstop position.
I don't know if he continues to play shortstop, but that dude is gonna be a future big time star. When I tell you, like, the way he played short was
I heard
phenomenal.
I heard the next group of dudes coming in are same level as freaking now I'm drawing blanks on names. Dang it. Simo, Beam.
Simo Burke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're the same they're the same caliber but more. So like we're reloading already.
And here's the funny thing. We didn't even get one of those great Billy Amick games, and they
We
still won. We did not. We didn't get a great Billy Amick game. We got a guy that hit for a cycle.
Uh-huh.
We get a guy with 11 RBIs. We got a guy that hit 3 home runs in all 3 games. Then you have a group of guys. Was it 20 or more home runs?
5 guys
Yes.
20 plus
5 guys. Yeah, they set some type of record. Yeah.
Never happened before till
Yeah,
this year.
that's insane.
I'm going to
That's
tell you
insane.
this team in in college baseball reminds me of that LSU 2019 Tiger squad in college football, where they were just an offensive juggernaut in their respective sport, putting up 6 stats that you'll never see, and if you do see them again, good luck finding 5 guys that can hit 20 plus home runs. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
A couple of observations. I'm so glad you brought up Billy Amick, because truth be told, until he hit that really good single, could have been maybe a double if it had fallen where it needed to fall. But still, he was very quiet, and it was very shocking. But thank God that other people stepped up. And that just shows the depth of this team, of how well they were. And that's what you need to win. It's a hard sport to win a championship. It really is. I mean, the fact that you had to win a regional, then you win a super regional. I don't care who you're matched up with. That's still pressure.
That super
and
regional
then
was pressure.
It was pressure.
regional
And that
was
wasn't a
pressure.
bad team. That was not an ordinary
No.
little Cinderella. That was a
Hey,
good team.
That
So,
Evansville team, that Evansville team was a lot better than people need to give credit for. They gave us everything we wanted. They beat a very good East Carolina team. And that East Carolina team, if they would have came in Knoxville, I still think we would have beat them, just because I felt like we were a team of destiny. And I felt like our pitching would have got through any type of situation. Like you saw the pitching, and you saw the level of the pitching when it come to crunch time. Like Nate Snead coming up. Combsy might be slick the MVP because of how he handled the Sunday game, coming in, giving our bat some help. Because if Cal Stark doesn't hit that home run when he was over, I don't know where they would have been without that. Like, the pitching of Combsy was great. And also the way we would go from Stamos to Causey. I like the way we always went. We stayed with the same formula every game.
It was the exact same starting lineup from Sunday to yesterday. Nothing changed.
Yeah. Nothing changed. No, nothing changed. A guy that I wish would have got hot because he was coming back to Omaha was Dalton Bargo. I really wish he would have got hot just because of the story. Cal Stark being from Farragut, from Knoxville, being on the first national title team. He will forever get a sandwich or a free meal or a beer in this city.
And there's been some great players that have come to that school or come to Tennessee from Farragut, and Farragut's the baseball juggernaut and everything like that. It's funny that you mentioned something, and Shane, I know that you'll back me up and so forth as you in the games. Two-pair, I think you said it best. I think this team was a team of destiny, but I think what did it was that Florida State game, the first one. Everything that could have gone bad that Friday night went bad. And think about, not so much. Everybody talks about, what Florida State didn't do. Yes, they left base runners on base and maybe could have had more runs, but Tennessee left a lot out there too. That's why you play the game. But when they had to make the plays, they did it, and it was just like they didn't look back. Now they had the hiccup Saturday night against A&M, but I just kept waiting. Even what was the final, Shane? 11-7. A&M won the first game on Saturday night. Was it 11-7?
9-5.
No, oh, sorry, 9-5. I knew it was a 4-run deficit, but anyway. But here's the thing: like, I still felt that Tennessee was okay. And then, like, when that game started Sunday, I really wasn't liking how it was going
I
until
didn't either.
Drilling nailed that 2-run homer. And then it was like, okay, we're all right now. We're okay. Now add a couple more runs. Stark did it with the 2-run homer. But the pitching on Sunday was lights out for
Lights
Tennessee.
out.
To only allow them to 1 run, and it was a home run that you allowed in the first or second inning. I mean, realistically, you basically earned that. And here, let me just give you some stats real quick that I have here. The fact that and I want to give a shout out to the kid from Pigeon Forge. I think the stage was too bright. I admire Vitello for bringing him in, but at least that didn't go by the wayside. But there's a reason why I'm bringing that up.
Dylan Loy.
Dylan Lloyd. Yes, from Pigeon Forge. Yeah.
I like Lloyd.
And he's going to have his day, but I think the stage was too big for a freshman. He threw a couple wild pitches, allowed some runs to score. It just made me uneasy.
But he still wasn't as bad as Florida State's pitcher that came in.
No.
Friday? Yeah. Or no. We beat Florida State. I can't remember
the second time, you mean?
Yeah. Game 3 of the Florida State one. Or game 2.
Oh yeah. Because we had
that dude was not he was done within the first inning.
Yeah.
When we went up
Florida State. To be honest, I didn't think we would have saw Florida State twice. I thought we would have saw North Carolina twice.
Yeah, and I
thought North Carolina had the. He's not the best player in Omaha, but damn it, he's top 5. I love Honeycutt. Vance Honeycutt is a player. Like, man, he's really one of those dudes. And then from Florida State's lineup, their middle lineup with Tibbs. Like, Tibbs was a problem. Tibbs was a problem. Out there, man. They got some players too.
One thing I do want to say about North Carolina and the baseball, which was really shocking to me, they had the highest seed of all the ACC teams, but I think they were ACC regular season champs, I guess because of record or something.
Record they were.
But not even them, nor Florida State or Virginia, for that matter, were your tournament champs. That was Duke. And I know that they do things a little bit different. They do like 4 groups and all that, and the best teams go in a semifinal and all that. I get that. But the fact is you're right, Two-Pair. I really thought that Carolina would beat Florida State, and it would be us having to play North Carolina again, but it worked out the way that it did. And the other thing that I want to bring up is that, and this was the stat that I wanted to the reason why I brought up Dylan Loy and the runs being allowed. The fact that you're the first number 1 overall seed, okay, in 25 years, since the 99 Miami Hurricanes that did
that
it the
99 Miami Hurricane team was a bad.
They were bad. They were a bad team.
That team right there, that 99 team went through the whole College World Series.
They did.
It was quick. I think I was in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade when that happened.
Yeah. And the thing is that the fact that there were curses and everybody was saying that, but I thought Tennessee was going to do it because there's something, like I told you guys, about that 25 number for whatever reason. It's been very significant in this year. But what's even scarier is, does anybody realize that Miami won that 99 game against Florida State, their rival, and the final score was 6-5. And last night, Tennessee won 6-5.
6-5.
I mean, and when we were allowing those, I was like, it was too close for comfort, but I knew he was striking him out at the end. I knew that last pitch was going to go strike.
You saw the look on his face after the balk because he didn't realize the runner took second already.
Yeah.
The first. and just he whipped back around. It's like, yeah, I got this. We're good.
Yeah.
It's like when Christian fouled that one off for 2 strikes to finish off against I can't remember. Might have been during Florida State, like the first one. It's like,
Florida State comeback.
Yep. It's like, we good. I got this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But there is something about this team that was special in every single way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think the 22 team was more talented. The one where we lost to Notre Dame?
The 22 team was one of the best teams. I don't know what happened. Like, I think
we did a business approach to it. Like, they went out there thinking they were going to beat everyone that year, and they were good enough to do it. But this team took it one game at a time and knew their job every time.
But here's with some. What about the irony that Texas fires their head coach the day of the national title game?
Yeah,
right?
Here is now Texas A&M's coach is now Texas's coach. You're staying in the same.
That's some dirty stuff, man. That is some dirty stuff.
James, check this, Stallion. Check this out. When asked last night, he got rather rude about it.
Oh, he
got
rather
rude about it, right?
It had Roy Williams vibes. I don't give a shit about Carolina. Carolina job 2 weeks after Kansas loses to Carmelo Anthony in Syracuse. Keep going.
I'm saying, was it not freaking eerie though? Was it not eerie that the way that happened? And I kept saying to myself, if Tennessee beats Texas A&M, that coach leaves tomorrow for Texas.
Wow.
I didn't think he was going. I didn't. You know, when you say it in existence, you don't think it would happen. But I said to myself, if we win this game and they ask him that question, and I bet you on ESPN, I will see that Texas A&M's coach leaves for Texas.
It's crazy.
But by this morning, I was already seeing reports on it. Like,
I did too.
Yeah, and he got hot. I mean, he got flat out fired up and rude. Yeah.
Was he not rude about it?
He was. He was. I mean, and listen, I know you've just lost the national title game, but they have a job to do. There's a way that you could have handled that, and you didn't. You know, you already knew what you were doing, dude. The money was there. You knew. I mean, and here's the thing, man. I'm going to tell you this. They have not played in years in football. I can't wait to see some Texas A&M shit again, honestly, because that used to be a after Thanksgiving Day special, like Nebraska and Colorado. That was your lineup. They did that remember, and all that, the bonfire.
It was Nebraska, Colorado. It was Texas
A&M, Bedlam.
It was Oklahoma State.
Always that Friday. Yep.
And then the Saturday, you'd have Florida State, Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
9 times out of 10. And then you would have
Vanderbilt and Tennessee would be playing.
You know what we forget though? The Thanksgiving night game was the Egg Bowl.
It still is, yeah. Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
You're
right. So that was your lineup. You know, that was your lineup. And the thing is, they haven't played for a while, but now Texas is in the SEC. I'm going to tell you this: that A&M Texas rivalry in all the sports, that's what college sports is all about.
With them coming to the SEC now, is everybody going to do the horns down now because they cried in their last conference? Like, it's not fair. It's too mean. We don't like the horns down. Welcome to the SEC.
Oh, welcome to the SEC is right. So I want to give a shout out to Larry Frank Jr. from Utah. Thank you, buddy. Always supporting the show. And he definitely bringing it right off the bat. Tennessee winning the Natty. The SEC has won the last 5 titles. Vols, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt. I mean, that's just nuts. That is nuts. And now you've added Oklahoma and Texas, and it's just going to be very interesting to see how this goes. This conference is going to be a bloodbath in any sport, men's or women's, going forward in any sport. So yeah.
Oh, just like Oklahoma's softball team.
Yeah.
Dominant.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's gonna be a good matchup.
I don't think there's been a more clutch hitter than Dylan Dreiling was. Like the bombs that this dude hit were just back-breaking shots. Like the most memorable hit will still be the Florida State game.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most memorable. But the check swing of the century by one Blake Burke is why we win in Omaha. If we go back to that signature moment,
that changed the whole outcome.
It did.
It did. Think about it. That's a call Tennessee never gets.
Nope. So the other thing that
it's a call Tennessee never gets. We would never get that. We would never get that call.
Does this mean the curse is lifted now since Peyton was there and we won something?
Yeah. I mean, he was there. Morgan Wallen was there. I mean, you know what I thought was so awesome? The fact that Josh Heupel and Rick Barnes were there. I mean, when have you ever seen that? You know, like, I mean, I don't even remember like Fulmer being tight with Jerry Green or Buzz Peterson or nothing like that, you know, like, or Pat Summitt or Kevin O'Neill. I don't remember that stuff.
You don't remember? Yeah, like the only thing we've ever had anything close to that was with Bruce and Pat.
Yeah, they had a special relationship.
You know what I'm saying? Bruce and Pat was the only thing we've ever seen like that. And just seeing Rick Barnes, who got to an Elite Eight, who's a phenomenal coach, who's a great coach, who's a legend. You know what's crazy is Rick Barnes has won over 800 games and never won a national title.
I know.
Like the dude might get up.
In the league.
He might get up to 850 wins. And my overall. I might need to lift the curse of me not announcing anymore for UT so they'll win a national title in basketball. But if they bring me back. But when you look at it, I really think that I kind of felt like Tennessee's baseball team was knocking on the door for so long that it had to beat it down. Where football, I don't know. I don't know in football. I really don't. Like, as much as I love Nico and seeing what we've developed in talent, it's hard to compete with the Georgias and Alabama. Like, it's very tough. This SEC's gotten rougher. You just brought Texas and Oklahoma into the fray, and you got Missouri that's laying around in the weeds. It's getting better. You got an LSU team whose defense needs to get good. Because they had all the talent on offense, they just couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Well, and Lane Kiffin's killing the transfer portal, getting people to Ole Miss. Yeah. I mean, they're there too. I mean,
they're right there.
That's why they had to do this 12-team playoff, because there's a good chance 4 of your 12 teams are going to be from the SEC champion, and 3 at-large bids. You get 3 from the Big Ten, and then 1 from the ACC, Big 12, and then whoever the lesser 6, the group of 6 champ is, or whatever like that.
Because you'll get a Notre Dame in there somehow.
Notre Dame will somehow find their way in there. Absolutely.
You know, they'll find
their way.
Yeah.
Notre Dame needs to join a conference.
They do. They should either join the ACC or Big Ten at this point. So
at this point, they're a Big Ten school. Like they're either a Big Ten school or an ACC school. You do it in basketball. Football, you're going to have to give up some of those privileges that you so-called have. But they have everything geared with NBC and that lifetime contract that they signed.
Well, and the stupid is that's really only the home games, because the away games aren't on NBC. The away games are with who they play, and majority of their games are on ABC at this point. You know, or ESPN.
They're from ACC schools.
Yeah, or they play the occasional Big Ten team. You know, and I guess that's going to be on SEC now. So
they're either on ESPN, NBC, or Peacock.
Oh, that's right. The Peacock crap. That's
right.
They got the Peacock crap, but I think Peacock experienced with Big Ten this year. Big Ten is going to CBS. I really don't. I love the SEC being on CBS. Like, it just was a better covered. Like with ESPN, I like the ESPN night game of an ESPN game.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
it's around that 3 o'clock game, I want to see it on CBS.
Yeah, yeah, and now it's going to be the ABC thing. You know, it's going to be
Yeah,
ABC. Is that going to be that 3:30 game?
yeah, it's gonna be ABC, ESPN type deals. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I, I want to go back to Larry's comment real quick that with
Mm-hmm.
Texas and OU joining schools like the Cal State Fullertons and Wichita State, they can kiss their baseball hopes goodbye. I really think that realistically now with the Pac-12 officially gone, you might see a UCLA or someone like that from the Big Ten maybe
Ain't no
make
more
a,
Cal State Fullerton, no
but
more Mark Kotsay's, baby. It's
none of that
over.
stuff.
No
Yeah,
UC Davis, no UC Irvine, no
yeah.
Santa Barbara, Stanford. I'm sorry, Santa Cruz, whatever. Wichita State. None of that. It don't matter.
Well, and
Don't
I'm going to tell you
matter.
this. I'm going to tell you this. Stanford's joining the ACC, and they're not even probably the 10th best team. You know what I mean? Like if you think about the ACC bloodbath, and I really think that this Omaha tournament experience of these 8 teams is going to basically be who's better the year, SEC or ACC. That's really what it's going to come down to these next cycles. I really believe that. So yeah.
I'm gonna say this. There was a guy that did not play in the College World Series. Their team lost to NC State. How about Charlie Condon?
Oh
Charlie
yeah.
Condon getting the Golden Spikes
Golden
Award.
Spikes. Yep.
Like
Yes, sir.
Charlie Condon. I'm gonna say this. Charlie Condon, you were a phenomenal player. But when I look back to the SEC, hey Statman, who was the Triple Crown winner in the SEC?
All right, give me a second.
While he's looking that up, I want to give a shout to Kerry. First
man,
SEC team to win 60 games, regular season and conference title, and the national championship. That's the trifecta. 833 winning percentage is 3rd all time. I'd love to know who the first 2 were, Kerry.
I do.
Yeah, so, yep, the Pac-12 is already gone, and other conferences will follow. Love Larry Frank right here. ESPN getting the SEC is the equivalent of consummating a marriage to your virgin wife on your honeymoon. Absolutely. I mean, It really is that.
It is.
So,
but Shane, since you're looking it up, I'll let you know who it was. It was Christian Moore.
Yep.
Christian Moore did not get any type of awards. He didn't get the Golden Spikes Award. I love Charlie Condon. I think you're a phenomenal player. But if you tell me that Charlie Condon had a more phenomenal year than the guy that led the SEC as a Triple Crown winner, I'm just saying, like, that team is full of
I saw the tweet he put out. It was early this morning. You all can have all the personal awards. I'm a national champion.
That's right.
Yeah, I retweeted him. I retweeted him on that. Yeah, I thought that was great to have. Like, I was like, dude, you balled out. You are the second man to hit for the cycle in the College World Series.
1956 was the last time that happened.
It's crazy.
The fact that he was shocked that he did it.
Yeah, like he had no clue he did it. So they said it during the presser.
It's just nuts. It's just
dude.
nuts.
I mean, what a great championship night. You had the Stanley Cup Game 7.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that in a minute because I was ecstatic. I mean, I was on the edge of my couch watching both games. I mean, honestly. So
this College World Series talk, like, the College World Series and the Stanley Cup are going to dominate the conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we got some big news that we've got to talk about too. We got some big news, and we got other topics we want to talk about too. One more thing before we change from the Vols baseball. We haven't even mentioned his name yet, which is really, really surprising.
Who's that?
But we got to give a shout out to Tony Vitello, the coach. We've not mentioned him.
We didn't mention
Does he get a street named after him? Like, do they name that street behind the stadium after him at this point now with a championship?
Build a statue now.
Yeah.
Give him a lifetime contract. Give him whatever he needs.
Yeah.
I saw a video today of
what's
what
the
game looked like in 2018 when he coached his first game. Carnage hallway throughout the first pitch, and you could have sat anywhere in that stadium.
Now it's the
Now,
hardest ticket in town.
Now it's the
yep,
hardest ticket in town.
It's like Neyland Stadium in the '90s. When
Yes, yes, it
that
is.
was a hard ticket at Neyland Stadium.
yep,
Man, to
Could
get a
maybe get
ticket
one
to
to the throwaway BS games on the ESPN
yep.
pay-per-view
you
stuff.
could get a ticket to Houston. You could
Yeah,
get a ticket. You could get UT UNLV.
yeah, or MTSU.
I
You
could
couldn't
I could
get
have walked down
UT.
I could have walked down the strip and got a ticket for $20.
Yep,
You could not get a ticket to Tennessee, Alabama. You couldn't get a ticket to Tennessee,
for Florida.
Georgia. You couldn't
Mm-mm.
get Tennessee, Florida. You had to hope and pray to get a ticket to the MTSU's, the ETSU's. Hell, if they did play them,
Nope.
Chattanooga,
ETSU
Mm,
gave out a
the
football team
Austin
back
P
then.
games.
yeah,
Those games, yeah, you would be thankful and you would enjoy being around probably 103,000 at the time before it got to the 108,000 it is now.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, and like I said, the guy has brought a culture, a team. They were brothers. You know, you mentioned the 22 team probably being more talented, but this team liked each other. They really
Yeah,
came together. They were brothers. They had each other's backs. They really took it
they
like a
fought.
business approach. They fought,
They
and
fought.
60 damn games, guys. That is
Whoa.
a lot. I mean, some teams don't even play 60 in a season, and they won 60.
It's
Let's
But you
the
talk
know,
about
most.
but
that.
It's the
but you
most
know,
wins by a team since they capped it in '92 for
Wow.
the
yeah.
amount of games you could play.
Wow.
But you know, it used to be. You remember, like they played way more games back in the day. Like
Yeah, like
before.
before '92, it was capped. I think the most games won by a team was Wichita State was like 68 and something in 1989.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, let me just say this. I do want to get to we have so many topics to cover tonight. I mean, we've got the damn NBA draft tomorrow night and Thursday night. Friday night.
I like what I've been hearing in this NBA draft,
Oh
man.
yeah, well, I want you to talk about that when we
I
get there.
like
We've
what I've
got
been hearing.
the Lakers have a coach, so we can talk about
Woo!
that too. You know
They
that
do have
that
a
JJ,
coach.
yeah.
JJ's a coach.
We'll get to that in a second. But, the show is Rebels with a Cause, and we need to actually talk some Rebels basketball. And I'm going to give it to the man himself, the voice of the Running Rebels for 18 plus years now. And Two Pair, I want you to have the floor. Me and Shane are going to sit back, and you take the lead on this one, brother. What is going on with our West Rebels basketball team?
Wes decided to stay in the family. Um, they decided once again to give the keys to a guy that's been around the program for a very long time. He's really, what I'm saying, built. He's really one of the pillars of the West success, going back to his days with Coach Kessler. It is one Tommy Eggleston, man, and it's great for him to get this job, man. Like he really deserves it. Been with the school for a very long time. I want to say he's going into his like 15th year. Um, he's a real no nonsense guy. He fights for the players. He's an incredible basketball mind. You gotta think this guy is at Wake Forest during the times of Randolph Childress, Anthony Tucker, Rodney Rogers. He's got just a special mind. And then his kids have played. You know what I'm saying? His kids have
Mhm.
been players for the football and basketball teams. So I think he's gonna do a great job. It's really awesome to have. It was a great hire. Former coaches have reached out to him. Gary Pecco said it was a great hire. Um, I'm kind of thrilled to see what it's going to look like. We just got the schedule, but this schedule is no joke. When you look at some of the games, and I think the first true test, they've been looking good for the summer though. I think
Mhm.
they've looked really good this summer. They've played well. from what I've heard and what I've
Yeah, shout
seen.
out to Jade Moore, by the way, because she's gone to some of those games and told me privately on Facebook that they're looking really good. So if it translates from summer to the fall, look out. You know what I
And,
mean?
and I and I think they just got a lot to prove. I mean, you look at a guy like Mike Nelson who sat out in the whole calendar year. There's games he's got marked that he's just ready for. And when I took a look at this schedule, um, the games that stick out, that first big away game at Austin East right after Thanksgiving is going to be really really important. Well, no, hold on, that's the 26th. Yeah, so that's
Game before Thanksgiving.
Tuesday. It's before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Is that before Wow, that's
I
before.
think.
Yeah, that's before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
So that's before Thanksgiving, and that one's on the road. That's a 7:30 game on the East Bay. You know those Condis. I mean not Condis. You know Condis and Shane. You know those cherry dudes are just licking at the chops. You know Demar is over there like, hey, you guys had me over here, and now I'm on a state. I'm on a state team. Like, there's a lot of talent over there. Great coaches over there, as we always give props to our East Side neighbors. But yeah,
absolutely.
I
Well,
just think Tommy. I think Tommy can do the job, man. I got a lot of faith.
I think the one thing that can't be that I want to refute because a lot of people said, "Oh, it was a lazy hire and everything like that." No, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I didn't
You
like
don't
it. I didn't like
understand
it.
this. You don't understand this. This, in my opinion, and I'm going to throw the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, but I think he's going to do way better than Larry Coker. It's like, why mess it up? Okay, it's like
Yeah, exactly. Why mess it up?
why mess it up? And these boys are going to play hard. What you saw in that the business like attitude with those tryouts, that's going to continue. And he's going to make a couple of good hires with the assistants. I hope Coach Brooks stays on.
I hope
Two
Coach
pair
Brooks
you
stays on
mentioned,
staff.
yeah,
I
but
hope
you
we get it.
mentioned that somebody else needs to be hired to
We
focus
need it.
on
We
tighten
need a
things up.
skills. We need a skills development coach.
Yeah,
And this is just for me because there's a few things I change about high school basketball. One, implementing the shot clock.
Yeah.
has to.
We're in 2024. There is no reason why Knox County should not have a shot clock because in the state tournament, I don't want to see you holding the ball till the time runs out. Like
Yeah.
we not in Hoosiers. This ain't 19 whatever. We are in the 2000s. This is 2024. We need
Yeah.
to have a shot
When
clock.
when those games get close, 'cause I've been to a couple of them over there in Murfreesboro.
And each school needs to implement.
Yep.
Each school needs to implement a skills development coach in every sport. I don't care if it's football, lacrosse. You need a skills and developmental coach because we're missing fundamentally sound basketball on these courts.
Oh,
So
I think it's across
that's
the
one thing I
board.
think we needed. Yeah,
I think
across the board in a lot of sports.
Because all you're seeing now is like, oh, I'm just going to recruit this kid over here. Because it happens. I've talked to enough coaches in football to know it's like, oh, I'm just going to pull this dog from here. I'm going to pull this one from here. Where's the skill development? You can't rely on their off-season training where parents are paying out the ass for it when you should be developing all your players across the board.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I was looking at the schedule right now, too, Pair. A couple games that stand out to me. That Tuesday, December 17th, going into Christmas break, Bearden High School at home. That's going to be huge. That
Tuesday
is going
night.
to
That's
be.
a Tuesday night.
Yep, and that could be jockeying for who gets that one seed, in my opinion. I no disrespect to Maryville, I know they bring back some stuff, but I really think it will be a West Bearden showdown, this year
I
for
do
that
too.
one seed. So,
I do too.
especially with some of the other teams taking a step back, like William Blunt. The other thing too, I don't know if this is like final, but I'd love to see us play Alcoa again. I want to see where
I
we
want to see
match
him.
up with
I want to see
Alcoa.
him against Fulton.
I'd
I
love to
want
see a
I want
Fulton
to
on
see
the
the fourth
schedule.
one.
I want to see a Fulton and I want to
Yeah,
see an Alcoa because here's the thing: iron sharpens iron, and that's the type of teams you're going to play if you get to state and somebody from Memphis or Nashville's waiting for you.
Yep.
Honestly.
What West should do? West should just like if you want to be in that state conversation, to get to that next level, you got to play state champs, and that's what I love about the football side. The football side is gonna see Maryville, they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see Alcoa, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go see like they're gonna go see those guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Anderson
I'm saying?
County, who's been a 4A
Anderson
power.
County,
Yep.
they're you know what I'm saying. Anderson
Yep.
County was been good. Anderson County was good when we was in school.
That's
Yep.
right.
Like it was
That's
real
right.
good.
They were. They were. And they were in our conference too at the time. People forget about that. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So like I said, I think that this team is going to do some great things this year. I'm excited for Coach E, and I really believe that they made the right hire. And let's go. Let's roll the balls out and let's go. The crazy thing is the first day of practice is November 1st. What's so ironic about that particular day is that you're going to be that's also the same day as when the football season ends with Powell, the regular season, and you're getting into playoffs and everything. So that's going to be pretty huge. You know what I mean? Type of a thing. But yeah, so I'm glad that we got to talk a little boys basketball and, definitely mention that. And, like I said, it's the dead period right now, which I hope that no matter what sport any of the Rebels or Lady Rebels are playing, you're still doing your own thing, enjoying that vacation with the parents. So, more than anything, just keeping yourself eating right and be ready. Because I was looking at the calendar, guys, talking a little West football just to squeeze it in, and I know that
Mm-hmm.
we might have that show next week if everything works out correctly. But realistically, with West Rebel football, when they get back, I mean, literally, they've got 2 weeks left in the weight room, Shane and Two Pair, and literally, it's football camp time. And then the week after, they'll be doing their implementing regular practices and probably have a scrimmage. But the first day of school is August 1st. I mean, it seems like it gets earlier and earlier each year. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. So that's going to be, so basically, what I'm getting at is they really only have 2 weeks left of getting better in the weight room, and then guys, it's go time. The pads come on and it's go time. So, and it's, I can feel it in the air, man. I'm excited about it, so more than anything.
Yeah. I'm really excited for the football season. Just looking at some of these games, and the fact that we got players like Wyatt DeRoche, Jack Keefe, um, just really wanting to be a part of the show that's been hitting us up, man. Like I love the work that you guys are doing. Like for real, keep it up. But
Yeah,
now
and we'll talk about you. We'll talk about you.
yeah, when a young Wyatt DeRoche hits you up and say, "Hey man, when can I get on? When can I get on the show?" I ain't want to tell him no. I didn't want to tell Jack
Yeah,
Keefe no. Like the interviews we've gotten with like Jack Keefe, Kevin Jack of the basketball team, like we're getting a lot of you guys more exposure this year. So just be on the
absolutely.
lookout for a
Yeah,
lot of
and we
players.
don't want
Shout
to
out to Elijah Gardner. Elijah
shout out to
Gardner.
him.
Elijah
Yeah,
Gardner has been tearing it up at like every camp. Like my Twitter feed is Wyatt DeRoche, Elijah Gardner, and mostly Jack Keefe on IG.
yeah. Well,
But
I want to give a shout out to Riley Mannon for adding me on Twitter. Thank you, brother. Best of luck this year, locking it down at that cornerback spot, like I know you will, like you did last year. So shout out to Riley. Also I want to give a shout out to Nalaja Dickey there on the defensive line. I see you, number 95. I see you. So keep eating, brother. Keep eating. I'm just so excited for this team, and the one thing is we'll give you the exposure. You just do your thing. We ain't gonna get in your way. You're good enough. You just do your thing, and let's hoist another trophy up, and we'll talk about about it every week. We'll be live from Chattanooga should we get there again. Honestly, I'm all about doing a live show from Chattanooga. Honestly, I think that'd be the hypest pregame thing ever. We'd be like Rick
Man,
Russo, Channel 8 stuff, man. Honestly,
dude,
so yeah.
if we get to the level of that, we've really become a top tier sports show.
And if you've ever
We've
been to
really become
Chattanooga
a top tier
Stadium,
sports show.
there's a spot for us to be. Honestly, there's a spot for us to be with the stadium in the background that would be phenomenal if we could pull it off, honestly, as a pregame getting ready for the game. And I'm down for that. Like honestly, like we literally would watch the team get on the bus like they do, send them off, and then we basically drive down to Chattanooga, get some lunch, get set up, and have a pre-game show, and then we watch the game and hoist a third title in a row. That's that, and then you're officially a dynasty. You're officially a dynasty when you win 3 in a row. Honestly,
Yeah.
so yeah. So and real quick, I'm going to get the rant out of the way right away. Bell 4, where are the rings? I am telling you, this middle finger is naked without it. Where are our rings? I think that like all of our senior players that were on that team are already in like fall camp, it feels like at the college level. You're going to tear them away to Knoxville? Where is our ring ceremony? You messed up, Balfour. I'm blaming you. I'm telling you, get us our damn rings already.
Should have went Johnston.
Like some special ring this year that takes a year to make.
I mean, it was beautiful. I think I haven't spoiled the design. I know what it looks like. It is phenomenal. It's not. It's going to make this one like wussy in comparison. But my goodness, we got fitted for them like January 20th, and now it's like past June 20th or whatever. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable. So, yeah.
I keep waiting for the day you send out the message saying the rings are here.
Oh, there's gonna be, if I can get away with some like Ric Flair Nature Boy music without getting copyrighted, like we will reveal it like in the like the little case, the ring case. So
You got like 30 seconds of music time before you got to
absolutely before they start looking. So but yeah, I want to give a shout out to the football team and all the players. Keep working hard. Shout out to the coaches. We love you guys, and we know that you guys work so hard, and you just know that you're appreciated. The parents and staff, that everybody that contributes behind the scenes, the administration, the teachers, the fellow students, we are one West, and got to always throw up that W, baby. So, get ready because it's here, and I can't wait, guys. I'm so excited. So, moving on, though, I want to talk a little bit about my Florida Panthers last night.
How about it?
How about them Panthers, man? 31 years as a team, and it looked like they were going to choke it away. I mean, guys, here's some stats for you, and I know Shane will back me up. The fact that you got outscored 18-5 from games 4 through 6, not many teams have the witherall to withstand that and come back and put a performance like they did yesterday. I mean, like, my God.
Yeah, I saw catch highlights last night after Tennessee's win, which I was glued to everything, but they came back. I was impressed. I wasn't expecting it. I thought the Oilers had it, and Stanley's staying in the United States. So.
Once it got to like 3 minutes and 52, I said, dude, there's no way Florida is losing this game. There's no way they lose. The defense that they put on, like just like the way they were scrambling around the puck, it was just like Connor McDavid, he got gassed at the end where he dropped to his knee. Like he had nothing left.
Yeah, they were done.
And shout out to him being the Conn Smythe winner. It's very rare though that
I heard a quote he said. I heard this morning because I was listening to the sports radio today while I was driving around for work. It was like all this is a sign of the failure that we didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because like I've never seen a guy win the Conn Smythe. Well, a few times. Like what Ron Hextall won the Conn Smythe after they lost, and I want to say, even taking it to the NBA terms, the great Jerry West won the NBA Finals in a losing effort.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well, and that's like Lionel Messi winning the Golden Boot for the 2014 World Cup. Yet Germany was absolutely dominant that World Cup. So if
I,
you want
I thought something about Jerry West. It was Jerry West decided to leave the earth so he didn't see the Celtics win another championship.
It's kind of true. It's kind of true. Carrie, shout out to you for this one. From the 10-minute mark in the third, Edmonton was gassed, and you could see it on their faces. Yeah, absolutely. And especially when that one goal, I still don't know how that goal did not go in for them. I mean, for God's sakes, like it was right there, and you just had to like tap it in, not to make a joke from Happy Gilmore, but literally you just had to tap it in, and there was nothing there, and somehow Montour just like willed his little body in there and knocked it out. And then I guess somehow Bobrovsky covered it up, and then the ref, called dead, and then they reset. But between that, and then like you said, him on one knee, Connor McDavid, and then the other player for them that they kept talking about that was a no-show during the series, when he was like Connor's backup of the lead scorer. His name escapes me at the moment, but when they do the line change, he would come in. He did nothing, and he was gassed. And it was like they were changing lines over and over, and it was like, I don't like this strategy of yours of Edmonton, but me being a Panther fan, I'm happy. But here's the other thing too. They didn't even go 6-on-5 until a minute to go because Florida was putting that pressure of staying up there. They couldn't pull the goalie like they wanted to in the other games, which I really thought that was a smart move by Florida to counter that, to not, sit back and have 6-on-5. So, yeah.
mm-hmm.
But shout out to the Panthers and Barkov and Bobrovsky and you talk about a team just like the Vols. Coach Paul was saying that he knew right from the beginning that this could be a special team because they liked each other. They were nice to one another. They fought. They had each other's backs. And reminds me of the Vols in baseball, too. They were very similar teams. And how special was it that in Miami and in Knoxville, two teams won their first championship on the same night in two different sports? I mean, that's magic right there.
It's
And
kind of
especially
magical.
and the fact that, you have a tie to Miami too, Pair,
Yeah,
and the fact that
big tie to Miami.
yeah,
Big
and
tie.
me,
Big tie.
and then you look at the fact that we all are Tennessee. Like I went there and so forth. You went there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's so special to be a part of that and to have that happen on the same night. It don't happen very often, man. And you know what? Shout out to the NHL playoffs. Shout out to the Edmonton Oilers for
Shout out
making
to
that
the
a
Oilers
series.
for making
No,
that a
for making that a
series.
series. They could have bent over like the Mavericks in that horrible NBA finals that we got and
Yo,
so forth. No, they
how
said
horrible
no.
was that NBA finals?
Oh, it
Like,
was so bad.
it was
I never
bad.
thought I'd
It was
say the
bad.
day that the Stanley Cup outperformed the NBA Finals. And Shane, I don't even know. I know that
World
the audience is
Series.
not there. Yeah, I know
World
that the
Series
audience is not there.
outperformed
But you know that when
finals.
basketball ended, the numbers did at least have to increase for ESPN and ABC that they were watching, that people were wanting to see. Are the Edmonton Oilers going to make history and come back from a 3-0 deficit? I
Yeah.
mean,
Like for me, the College World Series was better than the NBA Finals.
oh God,
The
yes.
the Stanley Cup was way better than I thought. At first, I thought the shit was gonna be over
Yeah.
before. Like
Mhm.
the way Florida was moving that puck, which was it to Chuck Matthew to Chuck.
Yeah,
How you
took
say-
Chuck, to Chuck, yeah.
To Chuck. The way they were moving the puck with to Chuck, I said it's over. Like
Yeah.
and the goaltending, like y'all held them out those first three games. I'm like, those first three games, they weren't what I thought they were. Then they showed this offensive explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Games 5 and 6, and then it's like, where's that in game? Now game 7 is like it's a little different. I think Florida was playing with house money.
Yeah.
I don't think Florida expected to be up 3-0.
I don't think they did either. I don't think they did at all. So, yeah, for sure. So, yeah. Oh, shout out to my guy, Mark Machado, fellow Florida Panther fan, giving the what's up, guys. So, shout out my brother, Mark, down in Miami. Yeah, two pair to go off of that. I don't think they expected to be up 3-0. I also think that Whatever Edmonton found, and you know that Edmonton was very well coached, they made the adjustments necessary. What I guess shocked me was the fact that the Panthers didn't make the adjustments until game 7, And here's the other thing too, guys. You got to give me at least props on this. Last week's show, and Shane, I know you weren't on there. I did say, listen, it was a missed opportunity by the Panthers tonight, game 5. Don't even need to watch Friday. We're going to have game 7 Monday night in Sunrise for another opportunity. And that's what it was. I mean, I knew that Edmonton was going to win game 6. There was no doubt about it. And with the chick with the cans, I mean, come on, of course they were going to win. So come on now. So yeah, but hey,
they for all for Edmonton that day.
Listen, off camera, we did say that if Florida lost, she should console me. Is it okay if I console her? Let me show you a slice of life down in South Beach, baby. So there we go. Little Rebels After Dark there. By the way, shout out to Michael Lynn. I don't know where Michael Lynn's at tonight, but he had a birthday yesterday, and the Vols won for his birthday. So happy birthday to Michael Lynn.
How cool
Ivan
is
Drago.
That birthday? How cool of a birthday is that when they went on your birthday? Man, like that's like when the Lady Vols won on my birthday. Like,
that's special.
Or close to it. They won close to it.
We won the Super Regional on mine.
Tennessee basketball won the SEC tournament that year on my birthday on the 13th. So, yep. Or they won it on the Saturday. I think, was it Saturday night? No, it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday on my birthday. They won the SEC tournament. So, yep.
Yeah,
they sure did. Yeah, it was 2022. Yeah, 2 years ago. So.
I think I scared my kids last night because we were all downstairs watching the game. And I already picked both of them up through my shoulders and started running around with them.
That's awesome. So
I got a 140 plus pound one in one arm. I got an 80 pound one in the other. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, and I got emotional. If anybody saw it on Facebook, I got emotional because you wait for that moment. And here's the thing, man. I saw a thing where these are the franchises in the 4 major sports that still have not won a title, and you see teams like the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? And it's just like what the hell? Yeah, hit that like and subscribe button, man. Honestly,
like
punch that,
baby.
Yeah, and everybody, all Rebels, man, pass it along to your parents. Everything, watch the show, man. We love the support, man. We love this, and we love doing this, and we want our message out there. We are Rebels with a cause, all of us. So yeah, because remember, the clock don't stop. Or the cause don't stop when the clock hits 0. So that's right. So you bet. So, moving on, but shout out to my Panthers. Thank you for not choking and giving this the South Florida boy the last in the titles that I hadn't seen and so forth. I don't have any hope in the Dolphins, unfortunately. So, but that being said, I wanted to go to the NBA. JJ Redick, the former Orlando Magic, played for the Pelicans, played for the Clippers,
for the
Bucks.
Yep. Played for the Mavs.
Yeah, played for the Mavs. I mean, he obviously was the most hated Duke player of all time, next to Christian Laettner.
He's up there.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's up there.
But
the most hated Duke player besides Laettner would be what's his name?
Laettner is still the most hated, but it was like JJ. There was a hate for him.
Yeah,
because of what Duke is perceived to be, but you meet JJ Redick and he's not.
No, he's a cool dude. No, the podcast
cool
and all that, and
cool
and
the old man in the 3. Yeah. Great podcast.
It is. And so he's gotten promoted for the Lakers job. And let me tell you this, JJ is got a brilliant mind. I think, a lot of people were wondering if he was going to maybe join, Coach K's staff before Coach K hung it up. And he kind of was like that guy that had an eye for an NBA job, but I'm kind of shocked to get this job. I would have expected maybe something like, I don't know, the Pelicans job or something a little bit lower tier. You know what I mean? Type of thing.
What if he would have got the Nah, I don't think they fire Willie Green, but I see what if he'd got the Cavs job?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, somewhere like that, somewhere where there's not that much pressure,
Yeah.
But here you're getting the Mecca and you're on LeBron James's, potential last team. Maybe he's got 2 more seasons in him, including this one coming up. I
And
don't
Anthony
know.
Davis with
And Anthony Davis. I mean, there's a lot of personalities to manage on that team, and that's a tough town. Next to the New York Knicks, that is the toughest town to coach in and so forth, especially when you're talking basketball.
So I got a question with JJ and the draft coming up tomorrow. Does he draft LeBron's kid? Does he draft LeBron?
Oh my God! Yeah. Let's talk about this real quick. Hold on one second. Let's see here, Larry Frank. I'm about to lose my shit on this JJ Reddick crap. Yeah, great Grayson Allen is hated. Yeah, here's the thing.
Grayson Allen has
who's the top four? Who's the top four or
top
five?
4 at Duke? Top 4 at Duke?
Top 4 Duke or top 4 ever?
Hated.
Well, here's the thing. I think Kyle Filipowski's joined that list for them. Honestly, because he didn't do shit at Duke. Like, I mean, he didn't. Like at least Grayson Allen got a national championship. Reddick won outstanding player. Leitner was everything. Like Filipowski did nothing in his 2 years at Duke.
But you know what? You know you want to know who one of the most loved Duke players are?
Well, Zion is probably one of them. Williamson. So
no, not. The guy we didn't even say.
Who?
Grant Hill.
Oh, Grant. Oh, yeah. Grant. How can you not like Grant? I mean, he's
the most loved Duke player of all. Like,
yeah.
You can't say anything bad about Grant Hill.
No,
there's nothing I can ever.
He was a winner, and he just had bad luck with injuries. Him and Tracy McGrady could have made the Magic unbelievable had they had that worked out. So, yeah.
Think about. If Grant Hill never gets hurt,
yeah,
and because they say in life some things got to happen for some other things that got to happen. Like it just wasn't meant to be.
Oh yeah,
but because if it was, dude, like how good would they have been? Like. I just think about that, man. They would have been great, man. But
oh yeah,
when you say Grayson Allen was hated, like, but loved Duke players. I loved Grant Hill. I loved Battier.
Oh yeah, Battier was a good dude too.
Yeah,
so yeah, like I mean,
a good dude.
I never had a problem with Jay Williams, honestly, like Jay Williams. I mean, that's another guy, the motorcycle accident. I don't know. So, yeah.
And it was like the little things in his game I was trying to patent when I was playing for West, but I wasn't. I wasn't at that.
And isn't that interesting that Duke has now that presence in the NBA that North Carolina used to? If you look at like Jason Tatum just won a title, and Kyrie's been doing his thing. It's like, and now Paulo Banchero. I mean, this guy. I mean, he's just So, but,
that trajectory has changed, man. And just looking at what JJ has to do. I think JJ's going in the right way.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to take a coaching job, if it ain't like Boston or LA in the NBA, you might not want to take it unless you're getting paid an X amount of dollars. This hire for the Lakers, though, when he says no, he's like no podcast. He's trying to get. I really think JJ is trying to get a title that he never won as a player. That's what his goal is. And you remember what he said about Bob Cousy and Jerry West. He said it about Bob Cousy, and then Jerry West had the response to it. And it's like everything is gonna come full circle. We're gonna look back at this hire, right? And we're in kind of a social media age. We're in that age. This is gonna be one of those. So this is like a social media hire in the way of He went from doing a podcast from he got 15 years experience. That's his experience as a coach because of what he is as a basketball mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've seen other guys that have not been coaches been successful, but with that lineup, that's not a championship lineup right now. The pieces that they need are going to be too hard to get because you look at a DeJounte Murray out there in Atlanta, that's going to be hard to get. You look at a Jeremy Grant up in Portland, that's going to be another. Like, you got to move a lot of pieces to get those type of pieces if they're trying to do that. And then you got the 17th pick and the 55th pick. And I get it when you can see this side of nepotism because I kind of feel like it is. But Rich Paul said something that was real poignant. That kid, Bronny James, just want to hear his name said. That's it. I just think that if he would have went to Duquesne, just coming off this whole injury, and playing with Drew Joyce, who's LeBron James' former teammate, we look at this a little bit differently. We look at it because it's like, what if he stays in college, comes a 20-point score, lead Duquesne to the Sweet 16 or the lead, like, you know what I'm saying? Do some monumental stuff in college.
Prove you're worthy of the pick.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. Kerry wrote, I give JJ 2 years, but not because of him. It'll be because of the front office and Pelinka's incompetence of not getting the roster fixed. I agree with that.
Right.
The true Tar Heel and
LeBron has too much control of every team he's on.
Oh, pretty much, yeah. Well, and then you've got Larry, in true Tar Heel fashion. This Duke bastard got handed a job, and his top coaching history is his kids' recreation team. Screw him. I love no Duke player. He did call Grant a nice bastard, and then he did give a throw-up emoji of all the Duke love, so that's funny. Jerry West just died. His eyeballs haven't even been fully feasted on by maggots, and the Lakers pulled this. Embarrassing. I mean, I'm going to tell you this. I don't know how Laker fans feel about it. They threw money at Dan Hurley. It didn't work out. And a lot of people were even saying JJ Redick was going to be the guy even before Dan Hurley even got the interview or whatever like that. That Dan Hurley thing kind of came out of nowhere, but they did go with JJ. And the thing is who do the Lakers take tomorrow? I mean, I don't even want to entertain this Bronny James, but who would be a good fit for them right now if you were a Lakers fan? Who would you want them to take, honestly, with that pick?
I mean,
if they're available, that's the other thing too. So yeah,
not looking too keen on it. Let me see where they would be picked. They're picking at 17.
Oh, by the way, Mikal Bridges just got traded from, or Mikal Bridges just got traded from the Knicks to the Nets. Breaking news, by the way. But anyway, keep going.
From the Nets to the Knicks.
Yeah,
from the Nets to the Knicks.
Yes.
They are going to seriously have the Villanova Knicks.
Yes, they are having the Villanova team. Yes, pretty much.
They are the Nova Knicks. So hold on. Wait a minute. They just got Mikal Bridges to the Knicks. That means there's four national championship winning guys that are trying to play together. Wow.
Yeah. Now all they need is to get Jay Wright in the and Thibodeau out, and they got the Villanova Wildcats there in New York. So and Jay Wright in those nice expensive suits. So yeah.
Man, hey, I ain't What if Jay Wright? Yo. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did you think? That would be crazy.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
I just don't think Jay. You think Jay leaves TV?
If the price is right and the coaches former players and see if you can make magic at the next level like you did in college. I don't know, man.
He would be a god in New York if this happened.
Yes, he would.
Dude.
GQ. I mean, it would be something. So yeah.
That would be. That was a crazy fantasy right now. That's a crazy. if
wrestling
Jay
talk.
Wright gets to New York, like Tibbs, if Tibbs does this, like let's say Tibbs has 2 more years with these guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't work. Jay Wright is on college basketball during the Final Four. Does he take the NBA job at Villanova? I mean, not the NBA job in New York.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if the price is right, and a lot of people blame Thibodeau for really running those guys ragged, and that's why they ran out of gas. I mean, there's been talk of that too, and it is what it is. So yeah. I mean, Kerry put, hey, it's worked for them so far. Look for Shepard and Connect to be the first 2 college players picked tomorrow night in the top 6. Most of the pre-draft previews have that happening. So I mean, I guess a lot of the foreign guys are going to go. Is that who they're projecting? A lot of the foreign guys, or because nobody goes straight from high school to the NBA anymore. That rule's been in place. At least you have to do 1 year.
Alex Sarr projected number 1.
Who?
Alex Sarr.
Oh, okay.
France.
Australia. No, France.
Yeah,
France. Yeah.
France. Yeah.
Then Zachary Reicher, French.
What?
Yep.
You know who I don't want Dalton Connect to go to Portland.
That's where all careers die.
Oh my God! Like
if he goes where they got projected at, just go ahead and chalk his career over.
Yeah, if he falls to 8, I pray
they never
to God.
6 right now.
Who has the 6th? Who has the 6th pick? I'm gonna
The
pull it up actually.
I got
The
you.
Hornets.
The Hornets. I don't want him to go to Charlotte. I don't.
Me either.
I pray Dalton Connect falls to 9 or 8.
I want him at 8 or 9. Spurs or Grizzlies.
Spurs or Memphis.
That's
Spurs
what we've been
You
hoping
could
for.
be Dalton Connect and
John Morant.
John Morant.
Or Wemby. Think about him playing with Wemby.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna tell you this. Honestly, hear me out on this. I think Connect might get lucky and fall to the Spurs at 8 because I could see the Trailblazers taking Jared McCain with the number 7 pick for a shooter. Honestly, like they might go with Jared McCain. I could see that.
Dalvin Klingon from UConn at 7 to Portland. Nikola Topic from Belgrade to the Spurs, and Ron Holland from the G League to the Grizz.
Oh my God.
They got Dalton Connect going to the Hornets, which if that happened, I mean, as much as I'd love to see Dalton and Grant together, but
yeah. Now the best thing for Dalton would be the Spurs at that 8 pick, and then do we get any trades? Like for example, what if like maybe
Spurs got the 4th and 8th pick.
They do. So maybe they take a pick, and I don't know, like that's kind of interesting.
They got Zach Edey projected to the Lakers at 17.
Really?
I would love to see Zach Edey. I'd love to see Zach Edey at 15 to the Miami Heat.
That's what I've been hearing. I heard that they really want to have Edey with the center, and they want to put Bam Adebayo at the power forward and not let him be a 5. So yeah,
I pray Zach Edey drops to 15. Please, Zach Edey drop to 15. If Zach Edey drops to 15, you might as well say Miami is back in the conversation.
Oh, without
Miami
a doubt.
is back in the conversation,
especially with the kid that they drafted last year out of UCLA that really performed really good and so forth, Jaquez. So,
I would love to see. I'd love to see San Antonio move up to get Connect, though. I would love to see them move up to get Connect. I don't like Dillingham paired with Wemby. I want to see Dillingham. Put Dillingham with John Morant in Memphis. Ooh, scary. Yeah. You bring Dillingham. You bring that guy off your bench.
They got Dillingham projected at 13 to the Kings.
Who's that? Rob Dillingham?
Yep.
No.
They like their Kentucky people too.
Ron Highland is. Oh, well, I'm looking at ESPN. Which one are you looking at?
I'm on the score.
Okay, yeah, I'm on ESPN. So,
I do want to laugh with you guys about something real quick. Keep
sure,
your
sure,
keep
sure,
your
sure.
train of thought, two pair. 24th and 25th pick is the Knicks. Could we have like a really loud boo for 10 minutes straight or whatever if they don't pick who they need to pick with those two picks?
You said
Honestly,
what
so,
pick? What pick?
the Knicks actually have back-to-back picks in the first round, the 24th and 25th. Kind of late there in the
Oh
first
gosh,
round.
do you know who they would get? You know
Who-
who they would get on ESPN? They would get Khalil Ware from Indiana at center, or
Uh-huh.
they would go with the point guard from Marquette, who I like. I
He was
like
good. He was good. So yeah.
Kolick was okay. He was
Yeah,
not
he
that.
had to
Tyler
battle
Kolick is not.
injuries and so forth there at the end. So
Yeah,
Shane,
Kolick was
who does the
okay.
score have? Who does the score have for the Knicks at
I
24 and
know
25?
that to it.
Yeah. Basically, Spoelstra would have his best defensive scenario. You know what I question, Kerry? Are the NBA refs going to allow the treatment that Edie got in the NCAA?
Yeah,
That's
but
that's that's something. Like, has he
I
earned
don't
that?
think he gets
So
it. Yeah,
yeah.
he probably wouldn't. He probably wouldn't get that same treatment. No.
They got Indiana center Khalil Ware at 24 and Carlton Carrington guard out of Pitt for the Knicks.
I remember him. He did okay with Pitt. Yeah. They missed the tournament, but they had a pretty good ACC season with Jeff Capel and them. So I know who you're talking about there. Wow, I was surprised he was a first round pick though. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Larry put the greatest draft reaction was when the Knicks drafted Porzingis. I died laughing, and you know the funniest still. I don't know if you remember the what I shared it was either last week or 2 weeks ago, Larry. That story that like they practically had to beg Phil Jackson not to draft Jalil Okafor to take Porzingis. Like so, realistically, Phil Jackson, if he had had his way, would have drafted Jalil Okafor instead of Porzingis for I guess that would have been the third overall pick for the Knicks that year and so forth.
Mm,
So yeah, because Okafor got picked by the Sixers at number 4 and everything
yeah,
behind Anthony Davis and that group. So yeah, no, sorry, Carl Anthony Towns, not Anthony Davis. My bad.
and
Cat
how
was number
funny
1.
how funny is this? Who's got a title quicker? Porzingis or the New York Knicks?
Damn Porzingis, man. I mean, shoot, like everybody on the Celtics team pretty much gave a middle finger to everybody else that realistic, and it was like the easiest title for them to win. They made it look so easy.
I'm not gonna lie, it was the most boring. It probably was one. It was a boring NBA final.
It
It
was
was very boring.
horrible. I mean, I still can't believe how
There
bad it
was no
was.
suspense. Like
None.
the Mavs gave Game 3 away.
Mm-hmm.
You give Game 3 away, and the way you give Game 3 away is by Luka pitching a fit to the refs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you guys got to check that at the door. Like when we were saying like what was the best sporting event of this year, the Super Bowl was great.
It was. My God. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl was great. The national championship we knew what that was.
Yeah, that was the
We
UConn Invitational Tournament. So yeah.
the UFL championship, we knew what that was. Women's basketball was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, that was actually exciting to watch that Final Four and everything. I mean, like
The women's
if you
Final
would,
Four had more storylines. More storylines were in the women's.
could you believe the fact that basketball in both the professional and college men's game has let you down this year of all the sports? Honestly, it really has when it came to the championship. Because realistically, the Heat Nuggets last year, yes, the Heat were overmatched, but they made it interesting. I mean,
They made it interesting.
Mavericks were
storyline.
destroyed. They were destroyed and picked apart. And that's why I just couldn't understand that Jason Kidd didn't do a better job with the adjustments. I mean, they looked totally outclassed after playing such a phenomenal Western Conference, run through against the Clippers, the Thunder, and then obviously the Timberwolves. So yeah, I mean,
You know, when I picked Boston, I was telling you guys, I just did not like the way Dallas matched up. I just didn't like it.
versus
Caitlyn
Caitlyn is better.
than
It
yo.
is.
Hey,
It
clap that
is.
up. Clap that
Props.
up. Clap that up.
Yes.
Clap that up.
Yes.
Clap that
I love
up.
that.
Clap
I love
that
that.
up. Clap
Yeah.
that up. That
Yeah.
that deserves a clap up.
Yeah.
That's got to be the best comment of the night. Larry Frank Jr. with the comment of the night. That was great.
Absolutely.
That was great.
Honestly, right now the WNBA has really just made this. This is the best thing that could have ever happened. This Angel versus Caitlyn thing that's been going on for 2 years now, and it's gone from the college game to the. This is the women's version of Magic versus Bird, honestly, and I love it. This is great, and it's wonderful that we get to see it because we were too young to experience that. You know, the Magic versus Bird. You know, and everything like that. I hear the tales, and the documentaries have been legendary, but these two girls, you know, I'm very happy that they have done what they needed to do, and I hope that somebody like Paige Buchers and you know the other ones that are coming next year can continue to add to that and really make that game fun and put some asses in the seats for them, honestly. So yeah, for sure. So
and what's crazy about that? You even the class. Just you look at the Angel Reese, Kate Martin, Caitlin Clark, Camila Cardozo.
Who was the girl that tore her ACL?
Cameron
Unfortunately,
Brink just tore her ACL.
yeah, that was sad to see.
But this class of women's basketball players has been pretty damn good. Like these games have been like packed. The Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky games have been super packed. And while we've been talking all about them, the best player in the WNBA has just been on a tear. Like Asia Wilson is playing phenomenal.
Yeah. No, Larry's got some good points. WNBA storylines. Will the Aces and Asia Wilson win again? Who will stop the Liberty? Who will win Rookie of the Year? It's constant, interesting storylines. It really is. I mean,
is.
And like I said, you add somebody next year.
What they've been begging for years, and now they're getting everybody's attention.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time anybody that could truly talk about WNBA?
Never. I mean, I remember a couple years ago that there was like a lot of like laughter and memes on Facebook where everybody was like, "Oh, look, nobody cares. Somebody got traded to such and such," and it was kind of like a joke or whatever. But I think that now it's really gotten people's attention. It's serious, you know, and it needed to be because can I just say this, guys? When they came up with the whole idea of the WNBA, and then if you remember, there was another league too. What was it, the ABL or something?
ABL. The ABL was a good league, though.
Because Rebecca Lobo was in that. Rebecca Lobo was in it.
Lobo was in WNBA.
Was she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The three originals were Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo.
Oh,
yeah.
Cynthia Cooper. Yeah. So, okay, I remember that. Yeah.
The ABL started with like Don Staley and Nikki
Yes.
McCrae.
Yes.
They were the ones that started the ABL.
Rest in peace, Nikki McCrae. I missed that.
Rest
She was
in
a
peace,
great
Nikki
lady.
McCrae.
She was a great lady.
Man, rest in
Before
peace,
Shamiqua Holtzclaw, there was Nikki McCrae. Honestly.
Oh my God,
So,
Nikki McCrae.
If you ever saw Nikki McCrae
phenomenal.
play, man. So.
Oh my God, Nikki McCrae was everything to me.
She
For
was.
me,
She was
Nikki McCrae was the first superstar for me at UT. That was my superstar. Was Nikki McCrae.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hey, listen, Larry. You know he's a big Bulls fan. He's been suffering since the curse of Jordan and Jackson left. Send Angel to the Bulls. Honestly, I mean, why not? Why not? So hey, but by the way,
Cardozo too. You gonna throw her in for?
Listen, I'm going to throw this out there. You know, we get serious when we do this look. Okay, we always get serious when we do this look. If the picture of the cans from Edmonton was special, has anybody seen the Angel Reese swimsuit picture?
Bro.
Serious.
Dude. Serious.
That's nice. That's all I'm going to say.
That is real nice. Hey, that's real nice. I love Tina Thompson. Oh man, Tina Thompson.
That's a win right there.
Yeah, so, Tina Thompson's the first original. She's the first draft pick.
She was an OG. Yeah, she was an OG. So
yeah. How about her son is a baller?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nice.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's just like, but I guess what I was getting at was I thought that the WNBA and the ABL, I thought that they would have taken off sooner because of these superstar players that played
Yeah.
in college, like, for example, the Shamiqua Holds Claws, the Tamika Catchings, the ageless Diana Taurasi.
The
You know what
Ruth
I mean?
Riley,
Ruth Riley, Sue Bird.
Kate Starbird.
Yeah, exactly. So, what was her name?
Nikisha
Whalen,
Sales.
Whalen from Minnesota. What was her last name? Lindsay
Lindsay
Whalen.
Whalen.
Lindsay Whalen. I thought that for sure that would translate over to that because those were some exciting women's tournaments back in the day, But
the
I
great
don't know.
Simone Augustus, who will be assistant coach at LSU this year. How about that? Like,
Look at Larry Frank with that one. Little Rebel After Dark right there. Here's this one, Swin Cash. Yeah, Swin Cash was another name. So yeah, for sure. So.
Swin Cash gets you one of the. Swin Cash gets you one of these.
Swin Cash.
Oh, hold on. Do you guys remember Tammy Reese?
The name sounds familiar. I might have
Look
to Google her. I might have to
Google
Google old Tammy Reese.
Yo. Tammy Reese was
All right, I know she didn't play in the WNBA, but we still got to give a shout out because she was a Lady Vol. Brittany Jackson. Brittany Jackson
was the inventor of this.
Yeah. She was featured on when they were doing the women's tournament. Like she wasn't even the best player on the Lady Vols, but they were like, she's cute, get her on there. You know what I mean?
Brittany could hoop. Brittany Jackson can't hoop. But you know who is one of my favorite hoopers and an incredible sportscaster? Andrea Carter is doing her thing, man.
Dude, she is, man. She holds her own with the boys. She holds her own with the boys. So yeah. Like, Swin Cash was just promoted to executive vice president of operations for the Pelicans. That's awesome. Good for her. So
yeah.
Listen, if you know basketball, you know basketball.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't see Willie Green leaving that Pelicans job anytime soon. Willie Green is a phenomenal basketball coach too. He's a great coach.
Yeah,
that
organization,
really great coach.
I think that organization has just had some bad luck with injuries and so forth. But if they stay together, they might be able to pull something. Because honestly, Zion getting hurt, has really hurt them. Because when he's on, he can play. I know he gets made fun of for the weight and everything, but I mean, he probably had the most successful season he's had up to this point, and everything this past year. So, I mean, it's not all is lost. The one that I think's let them down is Brandon Ingram, to be honest with you. I think he's let them down.
Brandon, I feel like they offer Brandon Ingram. I think they offer Brandon Ingram. Like it's over. So,
and they're wasting McCollum. I mean, CJ McCollum has really put up some good numbers for them down there too. Talk about a second chance getting out of Portland, but damn, I mean, how many more chances do you get at this point? So
I just found scrolling through Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it, the last 4 seasons for Tennessee baseball. For this wins 211.
Wow.
Win percentage 77%. NCAA tournament wins 25. Home runs 566. All 4 of those rank number 1 in D1 baseball.
That is crazy. That is crazy. So wow.
That is wild.
Yeah, no, that's what happens when you're a champion, man. You dominate on all levels. There's no fluke.
You do.
You're the champion. Simple as that. So
you do, man.
I wanted to switch gears to a second, and I know that Larry loves to talk about this too. But we, I don't know what the bad luck is, but we had another famous former sports person die right on the eve of the show, right, after we've lost some guys, and rest in peace to his father, Sika Anoa'i, died today. He was 1945 to 2024. He was just short of, I believe, his 79th birthday, and he did not look well. I think he was there at WrestleMania. He didn't look that well, and I hope that with Roman taking the time off, that he at least got to spend some time with his father and everything before this. And just a legendary guy, part of the Wild Samoans with Afa. And I hate to see that happen.
Really
It's
sad.
all part of life, but another wrestler, gone. And shout out to Roman Reigns and our tribal chief. Hopefully, he's being consoled right now with the families just coming together as they lost a very, very big corner piece and a legendary tag team wrestler and wrestler in general, and all the promotions that he fought in, and all the young bucks that he probably trained at his wrestling school as well. So, yeah. So, speaking of wrestling, by the way, I have to bring it up every week. This thing with Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan is the funniest thing that who is writing this is what I want to know. I mean, who is
Who
coming
is?
up with this?
It's
Be-
good stuff.
it is, and
It's good
everybody's
stuff.
playing their part. And here's the best part: they are still making Rhea Ripley relevant, even though she's off camera without, nursing the injury and everything like that. Like, they're still making her relevant in the. I mean, this triangle is the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. And if you watched Carlito's reaction, because here's the thing, I think Carlos Conlon Jr., Carlito, is probably one of the most wasted wrestlers WWE has ever had, because, he may not have been as big as most wrestlers, but his facial expressions, he can talk. He's got that look that you just want to punch him in the face, a great heel. The
Yeah.
look that him and the Judgment Day made when Dom got that text message, and Damian Priest, God love him, he's so funny. He's like, esa mujer es loca. Stay away from her, Dom. Like, I peed myself. It was so good. Like, it's just funny. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
I love what WWE is doing. I just hope, like, so is it still going to be able to watch it on USA and Netflix simultaneously?
No, it's Netflix. It is Netflix. Yeah, talk about that, man. Like Shane, how big was that news, brother? About Triple H said it's uncensored. I mean, yeah.
Damn. We're going back to the 90s.
We're gonna do it on.
I'm going back to the attitude errors in my head, but what we wish we saw.
Look at Larry Frank right away. Hey, I'm gonna do my best Jerry Lawler. Puppies! Puppies!
Oh man.
Judgment Day is ending soon. I can see it, Kerry. I think it's run its course, and credit to them taking it as far as they could, even when it was Edge that started it.
Yeah.
Kerry said about Sika. I remember watching him growing as part of the Wild Samoans. Got to see them live, and they were tough and awesome. Oh yeah, larger than life guys. Finishing up the Ingram NBA talk, Larry put Ingram is done as a Pelican. They're going to trade him, no doubt. No doubt. Hopefully they get something good that meets their needs to be a contender in that loaded Western Conference. So for sure. So yeah. I mean, honestly though, like, again, wrestling, NXT, Raw, they're killing it. SmackDown, I know SmackDown brought out Jacob Fatu last week, and CM Punk made an appearance and all that. But realistically, I'm very curious of, again, it's like Cody Rhodes. That title run has just been so bad right now, and realistically, Raw is the superior brand, and it's not even close. Even though the title that Cody won was supposed to be the better of the two titles, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, I mean, just not been good.
Yeah, it has, man. It's been boring. Like, I ain't gonna lie, SmackDown is so watered down.
It stinks, man. It stinks. It stinks without our tribal chief. And
SmackDown is like Raw typically has the best storylines, right? SmackDown used to. SmackDown would typically have the better matches. Like they'd have the better matches when SmackDown first ever started.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When SmackDown first ever started, Raw was kicking SmackDown's ass to where a group of 6 men went over there and turned it all the way up to where
Hmm.
those matches became. You would go to Raw for the storylines, you'd go to SmackDown for the matches.
Yep, you would for the
Well, it's
wrestling, for the pure
also
wrestling.
back when
Mm.
Heyman was doing a lot of the writing and everything
Wh-
for it.
Heyman was doing some great writing, and he
And he
utilized the
was he
talent.
was beating Raw in the ratings.
Yeah. Oh, they
Mm.
were. They were. And then here's the thing: what sucked for him is then when they would do the draft, the little draft thing, the guys on SmackDown that he elevated, Raw would grab him,
Yeah.
and so forth, and he'd get Raw's crap or whatever, and he would turn them around and make them look good. If anybody
Yeah.
should have been the writer for Raw, God knows what Paul Heyman
Yeah.
would have done with that. So, yeah, Jacob Fatu to put his foot in Cody's ass. I mean, yeah, it's honestly like Solo and that group. It's going to be interesting the Bloodline Civil War that we know is all is coming, and wake me up when that happens. Honestly, so that's
It needs to hurry up.
yeah.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah. I mean, well, and here's the other thing too. We've got like we mentioned the Money in the Bank pay-per-views coming up. And realistically, that's your first pay-per-view in America since the damn WrestleMania. I mean, that is just still an asinine thing to me right now, honestly, that they had your major pay-per-views coming off of your supposed biggest WrestleMania, you had them in other countries. And no disrespect, last I knew or last I saw, the American part of WWE is what really has driven this, to new heights or what have
Hmm.
you like that, honestly. And really, you really should be promoting your Netflix thing because from what I understand, I guess that though Netflix will be in the uh will be around the world or what have you, but um there's still places around the world that still have their own WWE network. They don't have access to Peacock. I didn't know if you guys
Mm.
knew that or not.
I
So
didn't know
the
that because
WWE
like my
network
W.
still technically exists for the world, but not for America. We watch Peacock if you want the WWE
Yeah,
network
because my
stuff. So
network just straight went to
Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too. So yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, but I just laughed so much about the whole thing with this Dominic. I mean, and then you look at the guy, and me and Larry Frank were laughing about it earlier today. We were talking on Facebook. Um, I look at the guy. He's got that mullet. He's got the Eddie Guerrero mullet. He's got the trash stash. I mean, and
Yeah.
and it's like he's got the tattoos, and you just want to punch him in the face. And here's like Liv Morgan, like saying, "Thank you, Daddy." And I'm roaring laughing at this. Like, I mean, he's nobody's daddy. He's still a little boy that should be put over Ray's knee and spanked or whatever like that. He's nobody's daddy. So, I mean, oh,
Mm-mm-mm.
but Liv Morgan, she has taken, you talk about, oh man, she's done some great things. And if Alexa Bliss comes back, if she even wants to, I'm just like, yo, put a match between those two together. I'd get some popcorn. So for sure. So
Mm. Tons of popcorn
absolutely. So with extra butter and all that.
with
So
extra butter.
oh, real quick, by the way,
Mhm.
I just wanted to let you know, I for Father's Day last week, Ryan took me to go see Bad Boys 4. And I really
Mm.
liked it, by the way. It was really, really good, just to let you know. So, yeah. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun, and Will Smith and Martin Lawrence were hilarious in it. So, if you haven't seen Bad Boys 4, definitely go check it out because I was entertained the whole time. It was great. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. So,
Nice.
let's see here. Larry Frank writes, France and the other countries turning Jay Uso's entrance into a concert is my highlight. Yeah, I mean, they good for main event Jay. By the way, has anybody seen Jimmy Uso? Is he on a milk carton somewhere? I mean, has anybody seen Jimmy Uso? Poor guy.
Where
So,
happened to Jimmy Uso, man?
yeah.
Main event Jay is a real thing.
Larry, I'm so glad that you wrote that. The racist alligator in Bad Boys 4. Oh, that that I could. Oh man, you just have to watch it. I don't want to spoil it. That is so good. Oh,
Yeah.
that is so good. So yeah. Oh man. No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, for sure. So I've seen some good ones this summer. I saw the new Planet of the Apes movie with my dad. I saw Furiosa with my dad, and that one was good too. And yeah, I've seen some good ones. And I guess everybody's now hyping up the Quiet Place Day One movie that's coming out, and then you got Wolverine and Deadpool that should absolutely kill it in July. That should be hilarious. So with those two, so yeah, surprised it hasn't gotten an X rating. So yeah, but,
It's because it's owned by Disney now.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So. Oh man, I'm telling you, always a lot of fun. What? Oh yeah, Larry, I'm glad you put that Beverly Hills Cop 4 coming to Netflix. Yes,
Nice,
yeah, yeah. In
nice.
fact, I've been catching up on the Beverly Hills Cop movies on IFC. They've been showing them a couple of weekends ago. They were on and so forth, unedited with commercials. And God, that was some funny stuff with Judge Reinhold and Eddie Murphy back in the day. Honestly, really good stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah,
How
be nice
about
to
that
see them.
parade today, man?
Oh,
Yo,
dude, that parade. So
that
yeah,
it was packed, man. I wish I could have got down there, but it was a lot of that's a ton of people in Knoxville.
Do you know? It just shows how they were starving for a champion. I remember that they packed the convention center for the Lady Vols celebration when they went back to back with Candace Parker and everything. And you got to think it's been that long since a UT team, won it all and so forth. And then for the men, it's the 25 years that we talked about, that significance of 25 years. And realistically, those fans deserved that. That team deserved that praise. And you know what? It I know that they lose a lot, but again, like you said, people can come in. That transfer portal could be a huge thing, and if they build this culture and program the way I think they are, I'm not saying they win it all again next year, but damn, if they can get back to Omaha again, that would be ginormous, especially with the people you're losing from this team and so
Yeah,
forth.
I'm already planning on going to Omaha next year.
That'd be awesome, dude. Hey,
E-
let me
e-
tell you,
Even if we don't make it, I'm still going for the experience.
absolutely, and you got to get you an Angus steak. You got to get one of those world famous Omaha Angus steaks. So yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been talking about we got the NBA draft and oh, one more thing that you wanted to cover too, Pair, the Olympic trials, man. That's been kind of going on, and that's right around the corner too. These
Yeah,
Olympics
man.
could be
Shout
huge.
out to Shakari Richardson, man.
Nice.
Left him in the dust in the hundred.
Dude, that was incredible. If go YouTube it if you missed it live, honestly. I saw the
Wow,
highlights. It was yeah.
dude, something
Speed,
serious.
baby. Just speed. So
Speed.
yeah. Oh, I want to give a shout out talking about football again. Um Twitter again, got to give a shout out to Antarius McAllister and Antoine Burdine Jr. Man, they were putting in some work. Oh my God, you should see them training together. Let's just say there's going to be a no-fly zone with them and
Ooh,
Riley Manning for that West defensive backs. Honestly, so look out, man. Honestly, they were putting in some work. Shout out to Shannon Blair for sharing that video too, former West Rebel. So yeah, but yeah, yeah. So,
I
but
I cannot believe this. It just man, I really want to go downtown just to see the scene, man. Like
yeah,
that, that's
yeah.
crazy.
We were on the cusp, and it was due. I mean, it was just it was their time, and relish it, man, because God, this is the first one. And how long has baseball been around as a sport at UT, Shane? I mean, what would you
Whew,
say? I mean, goodness gracious.
man, forever.
But
Like literally, like I mean, the reason I bring that up is it's because to win that first one is so damn special. I mean, you talk about the Panthers, 31 years it took them, and everything, and in their respective sport, and it's hard. These are hard tournaments to win, and like I said, you look up all the franchises that have yet to win one, and you'll really just wow, like you'll really be humbled, and the fact that some teams have won multiples. Amazing. I'm just happy that somebody wins one, especially that's one of my teams. So, yeah.
Man, I wish I could have been involved Village last night with this. This is crazy. Like,
Okay, so look at this. Look at this. Carrie, I like what Carrie's thinking here. There's something to think about. The only other time that we reached the College World Series final was in 1951. That same year, UT football won the other national championship that they have that same year. Could it happen again? That would be amazing if it did.
Man,
I'm
that
not
would be
saying that
crazy.
there's not an impossibility. The schedule is there. And if they maybe steal one from Alabama or Georgia and don't even have to play in the SEC title, but get an at-large bid. I mean, that's house money you're playing with. Just if they can make the college football playoff, I'd be thrilled. I would be
Mhm.
absolutely thrilled because you're in the conversation. Even if you're in the first round exit, you're in the conversation that you were one of the 12 best teams. And here's the thing, guys. Tennessee was the inaugural BCS champion in 98 when they started that.
Mhm.
Who's to say that they can't make this first college football playoff and make it interesting? That would be incredible if that happens. So yeah, I mean,
All right, first year Tennessee baseball, 1897.
so think about that. It took 127 years,
Whew.
if my math is correct, to win their first national title. And to further go about it, it was 73 years from their last appearance to win it all. So,
Mm.
well, actually, that's because they did go in 2001 and 95. But what I'm saying is to
They had
be
the
in that
last
position, yeah,
runner,
I mean,
runner up. They were 51 to Oklahoma.
yeah, they were 50. Yeah. So basically, they weren't runner up in 95 or the 2001 or the 21 World Series appearances, but they made it interesting when they did make it. But again, that's just a shout out to Vitello and the staff and the organization. And realistically, winning is contagious. And maybe this will be a pep for Heupel and the football team. And look at Rick Barnes and the basketball team. They were one 10 minutes away from being in their first Final Four, and they've made their second Elite Eight. So basketball's
Yeah.
here to stay, baseball's here to
Basketball is
stay,
here to stay.
football is on its way back, and hopefully here to stay as well and pull their weight, with what Heupel's building over there. So yeah, I mean, so
All the pressure's on the other teams now.
it is everybody's got to catch up. So yeah. Hey, listen, just get into the playoff, and then it's a 1 in 12 shot to win it all. Absolutely. And
Mhm.
again, I just feel a lot of football played this year because of, there's going to be teams that are going to be beat the crap out of by the time they get there. And some major injuries could happen, and it opens it up for anybody. Honestly, it really does. There's some luck, and, I always say, why not us? That's what I always say.
Why not us?
Why not us?
Why not us? Be
I
nice.
mean, so yeah. But yeah, great show tonight, guys. Honestly, I mean, the chat box was hopping. I love our chat box. I love our fans. A shout out to everybody. And we talked about this. I don't even know if maybe I'm overstepping by saying this, but I want to give a shout out to a guy that I personally love. He's going through something right now, and I want to give a shout out to Coach Chris Lindsay.
Mm.
He got some bad news. I don't know what it is. I'm not even going to pretend that's for him to share, but he shared it on Facebook. There was a lot of love and outpouring from former players, former students. But coach, we got you, by the way, and you're going to beat this. And I love you, man. And just conversing with you and seeing you. And I know you're going to beat this, and I know that God's got you, man. Honestly, we got you. You're a rebel with a cause, and you show what a tough rebel can be. And you're going to fight and beat this thing, and be around for many more years, brother. So I got you, I got you, Coach Lindsay. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely, man.
Yeah,
Definitely,
absolutely. So,
definitely has a big impact on my life.
yeah,
The way I view things, phenomenal dude. Uh, hopefully everything goes the way it's supposed to go and God's plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta fight stuff, man. Like, you gotta keep fighting no matter what. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Like
Bless you.
it's real out here in this world, man. You gotta have that high faith in the higher power for everything to work its course. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I will say this much. He impacted my life, and he's a fan of the show. And he told me whenever we want to have him on, he'd be ready to go and so forth. And so I'd love to have him on, whenever he's able to and feeling up to it, because and now more than ever, two pair, we definitely got to get in Romero's ear to make sure that 2000 team gets honored, the first and only district tournament championship at West in basketball. So we definitely got to make sure that he's good to go and honored with those boys and Coach Petco sometime in January or February at one of those home games. So for sure. So, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, great show tonight though, guys. Great show. And it's amazing. And, shout out to Carrie and Larry and Mark and anybody else that watches that doesn't really participate. We love it. We do this because we are rebels with a cause, and we love talking sports. And next week, if everything comes together, I talked to Terry Maples. He's down, and I've got a couple other guys I'm reached out to see if they would love to be on the panel to discuss which is the best West team. Gotta have a fun topic, because we do, baseball's over, the College World Series baseball's over,
yeah,
hockey's
man.
over, NBA. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk a little NBA draft, but I would love next week's
We got to
show.
pull the summer up.
Yeah. I would love next week's show to be nothing but about just which is the best West team, and so forth. And we'll talk about the schedules, who the key players were, and who would win in a head-to-head if they played. I know different eras are different eras, but at the same time, a lot of people would probably say right off the top of their head, well, we all know that the matchup would be 2022 versus 2014, but realistically 2013 and 2023 are no slouches, and you have to talk about weather conditions and things like that. And there were some game changers on both those teams. And I think when you see the stats, it would be very interesting of who you might decide who is the best. And what I'll do is I will share, I'll have some time this weekend to do it. I didn't, unfortunately, last weekend because of my sister's baby shower, but I want to give a shout out to my sis, Vanessa, and my niece about to be born here very soon, my first niece. So I'm really excited about being an uncle. And but anyway, this weekend I'm going to get those stats together and email them to you guys, and that way you can kind of rank your teams and think about who would win, and where we rank them as top 10 all-time West football teams. So yeah, for sure. So, and it's fun to do. It's something fun to do, and to get us through them dog days of summer, for sure. But I said that the topic of tonight's show would be a night of eternal bliss or Heartbroken City. And guys, I can honestly say that last night was eternal bliss, and it will never be a night we ever forget. Honestly,
Ever.
ever.
There will never be a sports night like what we just had in one night. Like, that was like it's a pinnacle sports night in my life.
Yeah. And it's very hard to have two of your favorite teams, win in one night for anybody, like championships of how seasons overlap and things like that. So it's just an incredible feeling, and was a real fun night last night. Really was. And I had a cigar last night, and you know what? I got another one right here, so it'll never get old. Honestly, I can just play that. Oh, by the way, one last shout out, Wilkerson.
Oh, John Wilkerson.
Colin, gotta give Wilkerson the thing. Gotta give Wilkerson.
Give it up for John Wilkerson.
Yeah,
man.
I was never so happy for somebody.
Everybody clap it up for John Wilkerson.
That call. Go to Twitter. It's on Twitter if you haven't seen it. Go watch it.
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
I listened to it all day today.
Yeah, it was.
It'll never get old.
No. I mean, so and you know what? Shout out to whoever made the final call for ESPN, because I loved that line as well. That was said. It said Rocky Top has now ascended to the mountaintop. I loved that. That was a really good line. And so forth. So yeah, it was. Really
I love it when John said, "The climb is over. The national championship flag is planted on Rocky Top."
Exactly. Yeah. And then I loved what he said. Well, they're in black, but still, it's
The
clad
national
in
championship.
big orange, which is a shout out to John
John
Ward and
Ward.
so forth from the '98 call. So yeah, that was awesome.
That was
That was
like
awesome.
a post after my we fucking did it, all that. But it was the national championship is clad in big orange.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, one last thought that I wanted to give to you guys about that. Um, I've always wondered, and listen, Wilkerson is Vol baseball. You know, there's no hands down about it. But I am shocked that why does Kessling not do it? Because he already does the basketball. I thought that like literally, you know, wouldn't the voice of the Vols do that as well? I'm not
Well,
trolling. I'm just curious. I'm just wondering
there's
how that
different
worked.
voices of the Vols, though. You
Yeah.
know, you got Jeff Jornigan, who's your PA announcer.
Hmm.
You've got Bob Kesslin, who's your basketball play-by-play. You've got Brian Rice, who's your women's and softball play-by-play.
Okay.
You've got Wilkerson, who's strictly, baseball, and then, he has a lot of stuff to do with like NFL talk too. Like the sports animal and UT spreads that all around,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Listen, I ain't trying to troll when I say this, but God,
Was
it
it?
was rough listening to Mickey Dearstone call Lady Vol
Oh
basketball
man.
games. My God, dude.
I love the way Brian Rice calls the
He
game.
calls it good. Yeah, he
I
calls it
love the way
good.
Brian Rice calls the game.
I just would like him to finally get the success that we all know that the Lady Vols are capable of, and I really hope that new coach does something, man. It's just been far too long that Tennessee has not been relevant in women's basketball. It's just it hurts. It hurts me because of how much love and admiration I have for the great Pat Summit. So,
I still think the best move was the fact they went away from family.
oh, without a doubt, without a doubt, was that good? So, yeah, 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 but.
We've had too many people in here try to beat Pat. You'll never beat
Yeah,
Pat.
we
Be
don't
yourself.
know. You need to be yourself. You need to bring in this. And listen, Pat, one thing, here's the truth of it. If Pat was still alive and even still coaching the Lady Vols at this point and so forth, she would have adapted with the game too. She would have, made the choices. She wouldn't have been stuck in the rut. And that's how great coaches are. They adapt and they, yes, you implement your values, but at the same time, you need to know what wins championships. I mean, I saw a story last night that the owner for the Panthers, yeah, great. They had the most wins a couple years ago, but when they got shown the door by the Lightning, they were like, nope, it's not going to be scoring that wins. It's going to be defense. And it didn't look like that for 3 games, but literally the Panthers' defense is what built that championship. And it starts with the defense. And then, of course, if you got some special guys that can score in any level of any sport, then, you know, yippee ki
Yeah.
simple as that.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. So,
Yippee-ki-yay.
yeah. But guys, great show tonight. Great show tonight. Shout out to everybody. And Shane, final thoughts, man, as we wrap up another episode of Rebels with a Cause, baby.
Final thoughts, Shane.
Last night was amazing. Best night of championships ever. Glad I'm back after my little 2-week hiatus with the illness and family issues. And live every day like a champion right now.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to have you back, man. It was me and Two Pair held it down. We'll always hold it down. And I hope that I never miss one and so forth. But I know that you two would hold it down if I had to, for sure.
We had a death in the family, and then I got hit with a massive stomach bug. Hole.
Yeah. I was thinking about you, man, and I'm glad you got over that, and very sorry for the loss of the family member that was lost. And it's just been a tough year. Been a tough year for all of us. We have friends and family, and everybody's going through their stuff. But that's why you just got to love each other and just be good to one another as best you can. Honestly, it's a tough world out there, really is. So
Yeah, man.
yeah. Well, we end it every time with that W and so forth. And Two Pair, like every show, close us out, my brother.
Well, I'm gonna close this out, man. We definitely had a incredible championship night. Um, just big big congratulations to all the winners last night. The
Yeah.
Panthers, like finally getting a trophy to a warm weather state. Like they've been knocking on the door for a long time.
Yeah, they have.
Like You know what I'm saying? For those guys, they're known as Stanley Cup champions. You know, it's very cool.
Can't
And
take it away from
this
you.
and to see the entire city of Knoxville get a championship for this summer. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like I felt the men's basketball team got robbed in Detroit. They made it to an Elite Eight, which is awesome. But to say that you're national champs, like the the baseballs did, I mean, it just gets sweet. And then looking at the Nova Knicks have reunited. JJ Redick getting the Lakers job.
Yeah.
Women's basketball is interesting to watch. That's my last. Like that's it. Championship night. Great night. Thank you guys for commenting in the book. So look, man, love piece of chicken grease. We up out here. Throw your dubs up. And then, tell them about what happens with that clock though, James.
Oh, absolutely, baby. Listen, it's Rebels with a Cause because remember, the cause don't stop when the clock hits zero, baby. We out.
There it is. Dubs up, man.
Dubs
Appreciate
up.
y'all. Thank y'all.
Love you guys.
Championship night.